Hey guys, it's Damien again. I got a really cool video. I say cool because this video hopefully will save you a lot of money and yeah, just a lot of money. Really quick, I had a email from one of my viewers that was requesting some information about labels. Of course, when you're making and manufacturing your product and you're looking to obviously do it as cost effective as possible, you want to save as much as you can in the production of the product without having to make it cheap, of course, but making a good quality product and utilizing your money as efficiently as possible is always a good idea, a great thumbs up, because you will have a profitable product. I'm looking at my board over here. I've got some notes that I'm going to relay to you guys. When we do a product, when we create an item, I've got about 400 to 500 items. I know that it sounds like that is an enormous amount of products. But I'll do some other videos and explain how I actually do about 5 product lines with about 30 to 40 different products within it. And I'll teach you and show you exactly how I do that. But this video is going to be about making labels. So I do, when we create a product, when we package it, we make it, we label it, we do the graphic design work. I do. It's myself and my wife, so I don't have a whole bunch of other staff for the design part of it. But as far as doing the labels, we make them ourselves. And I would highly recommend, I would tell you, please do not, if you are starting out small and you are producing a couple of hundred items of a batch at a time, or maybe even 2 dozen or 4 dozen or 5 dozen, and you're starting off, produce your own labels. I've been in this business now for nearly 10 years. I've been in retail for over 22 years. I know about packaging, and I studied before I took my degree in marketing on my degree that I studied for a few years. I actually studied graphic design, so I'm kind of familiar with some of the processes for making labels. And I've been able to actually produce them myself for pennies, literally pennies. There is a company called Online Labels, and by the way, I'm going to do this video and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put a couple plugs in here for some businesses. I do not get compensated for telling you about this at all. These are just companies that I do business with, and I'm just letting you guys know. But they are fantastic companies, and they have saved us a fortune in label production over the past few years. So this one is called onlinelabels.com. And what I'll do, if you can't read this, because I know the camera's not too close, I'll put it in the description for you so you can see that. Onlinelabels.com. This company here is probably over the past several years or so has saved me literally thousands of dollars, or even maybe even more than that, in just label production costs. I print all of our labels. When I do a batch of products, or I brew a product and I send out to FBA, or if I have a company or a corporate order and I do about 1,000 to 2,000 pieces at a time, I'll print the labels. And I'm going to show you one example of, we have about 5 or 6 labels, different sizes, different shapes. This particular label is a label that goes on pretty much the bulk of all of our candy and our big bags, and it cost me 5 cents to make it. I've gone to Vistaprint and other online printing companies. This is how you can get around the cost of, normally they have you do a deposit for a web designer of $40 to $50 up front per label. And I've also run into labels that are between 30 to 50 to even 60 cents and more, because what happens is these companies that are online that want to make labels for you, they're going to want to produce them in as large of a batch as possible. As you increase the amount of labels you buy for your product, of course the cost goes down. But if you do a run, it's called a run, if you do a label run of about 500 or less, the cost of per label pricing skyrockets. It's absolutely ridiculous, to be honest with you. So I'm going to show you how to get around that. This video is going to be very informative, and it's going to save you a fortune. So onlinelabels.com, they have a selection of labels that are waterproof, glossy, matte finished, circles, round labels, square, rectangle, any shape you can imagine. They literally have thousands and thousands of labels. If you can't find a label on onlinelabels.com, you're probably making it more difficult for yourself to make an item and label it, because they have every shape known to man. They have colored ones. They have some that are waterproof, and it's just on and on. So go to onlinelabels.com, check out what they have on their website. There's a round label. It's a 2.5-inch label. It's 2.5 inches. Obviously, this is not 2.5 inches. I'm drawing this for demonstration purposes. But it is round. It's 2.5. It's a glossy label. I buy it 1,200 at a time. It comes in a package, has 100 sheets with 12 labels. Okay? This cost me, before I print, 4 cents. 4 cents. Seriously? 4 cents. The one that you buy when you go to an online label printing company, they're going to charge you, I guarantee it, because I've done the research on it, anywhere from 20 cents up to almost $1 for a label. Now, this pricing, of course, is the pricing for the completed printed, which includes the ink and all that stuff. But to go on top of this, they're going to charge you about a $40 to $50. I've seen some higher, but the average is about $40 to $50. They call it a setup fee, which is it's a bunch of baloney. Because the majority of the time they have a lot of pre-made templates. The text, the fonts, the designs are already in their system. So unless you supply one, and normally, you actually can supply a label design, and they're still going to charge you that setup fee. I can sit at the computer, and I'm going to show you a really cool trick specifically from this website, because they offer a service absolutely free that you can use, and it's a great pre-made template on a whole bunch of different design types for different industries. And it's like click and point, add your text, put your name, press the button, and print. You're done. That's another thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to take up a ton of your time. At least I don't. Coming trying to create designs for labels. If you have a company logo and you've already got it established and created, you're like one step ahead of the game. This specific program, which I will tell you about once you buy a product from them, they give you access to what's called the Maestro. And the Maestro, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So really quick, as you can see here, you're going to charge $49.99 or more. Some of them are up to $100 as a setup fee, which is, like I said, it's a ripoff. It's a complete ripoff. Don't fall for that. You can, trust me, just give yourself some time to play with it. You could go into this program and easily create a label that looks just as professional as anything you're going to overpay, and you can do it in less time. And the beautiful thing is, you can create labels as you need them. This is something that I'm a huge advocate for. Is if you're a small business, I started this business from nothing. I literally started it from a patio, a porch, and I started to make everything from the product itself to the listings, everything from top to bottom. And I'm not telling you this because I'm bragging. I'm just telling you that I didn't have everybody. I didn't have a bunch of people telling me best way to do this, best way. I had to find it out on my own. So I've taught myself everything that I've known so far. And to be honest with you, creating labels online is not rocket science. You don't need a graphic designer to do it. And you can save a ridiculous amount of money. So the Maestro program, which is on the onlinelabels.com, every time you buy a package of labels from them, they're going to give you a 3-month free, it's not really a trial period, because for 3 months you can use it. After 3 months, you'll buy more labels because you'll go through them. After 3 months, you'll get another trial period, I guess you could say, for Maestro. And Maestro is their label design program, and it's right on their front of their website. On the left-hand side, you'll see it. Once you create an account with them, you have to create an account. Definitely do that. Do it with your business name and your first name and all that good stuff. But Maestro will give you access to their design program. And any label that you buy from them, from the thousands they offer, you go right in there, you type in the item code, it'll pull up that template, and you're already in business. On the left-hand side, and I'll do another video in depth to show you that. But the program itself will give you all the access that you need to text, to fonts. You can actually import a logo. You can import images, clip art, anything you can fathom. And you can do it for literally pennies on the dollar. So back to what I was going to tell you before. When you're starting out from nothing and you've got about 3 or 4 dozen of one particular item, and you need to print up labels really just for about 3 or 4 dozen, I'm a true advocate in saying Cash flow is number one in your business, period. Money coming in and money going out. Don't tie up a lot of money in pre-made labels that you may never use. I did this, and it was a learning experience. I went to the websites online before I realized I could do this myself. Had about 1,500 of a label printed up. Never sold the product to that extent, and ended up changing the packaging, changing the product, whatever it was. So I had a big fat roll of labels that were good for starting a fire in my backyard. So they had of no use. I never used them. And what you're doing is you're tying up money in something that you're not going to ever use. Totally ridiculous waste of money. So the way our way we operate now is that as we need it, I have the ability with this program and with this company that I buy labels from, I could click a button and print up 3 dozen, 2 dozen, put it on the package, send the product out, and it's done. The only thing I've got money tied up in is going to be that package of labels I just bought that's blank, waiting for me to design something. As you grow and you get to the point where you've got a tremendous amount of one specific product, let me grab one. I'll show you. Okay, so this is one of our this is our barbecued soy nuts. So this particular item, and it's not done being labeled just yet, but I'm just going to use it as an example. This label here, this I went to Fiverr.com. I had this label designed, this logo designed for me for $5. I was trying to get a graphic designer to create one. Like I said before, I did study graphic design, but I don't have the time to be creating logos. I had this done for $5. I have that now on my file. I load this up. I printed this. This is a glossy, full-colored label. This cost me less than 5 cents, guys, to make. So like I said, you're looking for cost-effective ways to use your money and create a product without spending a fortune, you don't have to do it. And this looks just as professional as anything else you're going to find. And I can press a button. I can print 12 of these. I can print 200 of them. And I don't have them sitting there. If it was 1,000 run and it cost me 70 cents each, I'm wasting time and money. I've got all those labels sitting there, and I'm hoping that I sell a bunch of soy nuts. That's not the case. So the way it works is print it as you need it. Don't tie up your money, and don't pay people to have you do this. This is something you can do, and you don't have to be a graphic designer. Trust me. So Maestro is the program that you'll have access to. Excuse me. So once you go into online labels, you create your account to get yourself started. On the top, there's a search bar. You basically type in your diameter, your dimensions of whatever label it is that you need. It's going to pull up a huge selection. It's going to give you each label that they offer, by the way. Let me get this real quick, and I'll show you. So each sheet that you get, you can get it anytime. This one is the 2.5 inch. It's a glossy label. This can come in colored. It can come in matte finish, waterproof, and like I said before, so on and so on. So it just to let you know, it gives you a variety. So if you're looking for something that's flashy, maybe something that sticks out or stands out, if you're selling to a retailer and you want that product to stand on the shelf, they have them in silver, they have them in glitter, all that kind of stuff. So pick out your dimension, then pick out the type of label that you want. And I'm telling you right now, these people have the product shipped to you within like 2 days. It's phenomenal. And like I said, I'm not being compensated. I'm not being paid for promoting them. I've bought labels from them for probably 8 years now, 9 years. So give them a shot. Try to do as much as you can on your own to save yourself a lot of money. There's no sense, again, just to recap, and I'll let you guys go. I don't want to take up much of your time. Don't pay someone $50, $60, $100 to set up your design. There's plenty of accessible free resources online to create your own label, and you can do it in a heartbeat. You can print up what you need, and like I said, my tip of the day for this specific video is please don't tie up money in label after label after label that you may not utilize. So I hope that this video kind of saves you some money and kind of informs you about what you can do. You don't have to be a designer to create the labels or even your packaging. So as you can see with all the videos that I post on my channel here, I'm going to give you advice on every single aspect of creating and developing a product, getting it specifically a food product. But of course, many of these tips and tricks can be put and applied to any type of product that you're selling. But my specialty is food. So make your packaging, make your labels, do it yourself, guys. I will be putting out constant videos like I have, and you guys have seen most of them. I wanted to put a plug in. I've got my new channel, which will be up and running. Probably it's going to be a couple weeks, but it's going to be a paid subscriber-based channel. And the really cool thing about that is that it's going to have much longer videos that are going to be much more detailed on every topic you can fathom. If you're starting a business from home, if you happen to want to start a food business, selling your own food products online, if you want to do it on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, I'm on all of them and have been on them for years. I make a very good living doing what I do, and I love what I do. And now with this channel, every month it's going to be $12.99 a month. I try to keep that fee down really low as possible, but it's going to be a ton of useful videos. And the other really cool feature I want to offer is going to be access to me. I have a specific email that's set up. If you have questions, aside from asking questions on the videos, because I sometimes don't get to all of them, I'm going to be dedicating time to that specific email and answering any and every question that you've got. And if it happens to be something that I don't know the answer to, which is probably highly unlikely, if I don't know the answer to that, I will find the resource for you, and I will make sure that you get the answer you need. And that's going to be up, like I said, about 2 or 3 weeks. I'll have a dozen or so videos on that channel, and you can start subscribing. It does have a 14-day free trial period. So for 14 days, for 2 weeks, you can take a look around, look at some of the videos, interact with me. Like I said, you can email me, and then I'm there to help out with you any time of the day. And I'll probably have set up where it's like about a 48-hour response time, just due to the volume of my business and how busy I am right now. 2-day turnaround, and I'll email you back, and I can correspond with you, and that's part of that $12.99 monthly subscription fee. So again, I hope that helps you guys. Give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I always appreciate honest opinion. And again, I hope I see you on my next video. I've got a lot of stuff planned for videos tonight. They should be up in the next couple of days. Thanks, guys.